in order for it to really work, you need to spend time apart where you really feel that person's absence to the point where you do get over it. Like, you're like, okay, I'm fine without this person. Like, you need to be okay being alone and like be healed from like all of that stuff. What is up, guys? Welcome back to Gin and Toxic. Hey.
It's tough. It's a tough day.
It's a tough day. I just told Lily I feel like I'm holding myself hostage in this studio. Do you guys see me right now?
Imagine someone's like, I'm like down. I'm going to listen to Gin and Toxic. And we start and we're like, hey. It's a fucking awful day. Like, we're fine. Everything's fine.
Literally so fine. You know what? We're just not used to, two things. We're not used to recording twice in 1 week, but we're doing that this week in order to get ahead.
Yeah.
Also, it is 9 p.m. when we are starting this, and usually we record around like 6, like maybe 7.
Work.
What?
Yeah, like right after work.
Yeah, exactly, right after work. But today there were delays, such as Lily's Soul Cycle class.
5:30 every Thursday, baby.
Yeah, so that's that.
We don't miss it. It was a Harry Styles in the girls class.
Was it really?
It sure was.
Okay, so it's Harry. Who are the girls?
Olivia Rodrigo, Taylor Swift, Gracie Abrams. I forget who else, but it was fabulous.
Oh my God, incredible. I literally woke up, I had clients all afternoon. I got a shit ton of like work done. I was just doing a bunch of stuff. Yeah, and then I just like had my last client. I came here, I set up, had a kiki with Noah.
Period.
And then I just chilled. And now Lily was like coming to the studio and I was like, dude, I'm like falling asleep. Hence the nice blanket next to me. I look snug as a fucking bug on camera right now.
Yeah, I kind of love this. Jesus, you really do. Oh my God.
I look like I just woke up from a nap and just started recording.
I kind of love that for you.
Like, hey, every day is a sleepover.
Wait,
what?
Give it to me.
The blanket?
Whatever. I'll suffer.
Do you want me to try and expand it onto yours?
No, I don't.
Wait, it could be funny. Here, take some of my blankie, baby red. Okay. It's a big ass blanket. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God.
Sleepover.
You know what? This is perfect too because it covers all the ugly wires.
Perfect.
Oh my God. We're snug as a bug, guys.
I think I love this. I think this should be the new norm.
This should be the new vibe.
This is it.
We're so snug. Anyways, we don't know what the fuck to talk about in this intro.
Well, yeah, because we recorded the other day and we usually don't record like that close together. So like, what are my updates? Well, my updates, I guess, are I spent the last 2 days suffering because honestly, every single time I get my period, it's like, some months are worse than others. I have a really intense, horrible period, but some months are worse than others. But like, no matter what, it's 2 days of just like pain, suffering, pain.
Mm-hmm. I don't get period cramps. Like, well, first of all, I was on birth control.
It's like chronic, like exhaustion.
Yeah,
and just like that. I feel so off. And like, I made plans last night that I could not cancel, and like, it took everything in me just to like walk to the train. Like, I was like, this. I'm in pain. Like,
that was literally, dude, fucking me as fuck. Like. Yeah.
Popping Advil left and right.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm so also not used to this. I was literally on birth control for the past like 8 years. And then I went off in July. And then my period actually started like regulating itself again by like September. And that was like when I was on birth control, you know this. If you guys don't know, I don't know if I've talked about it on the show before. I probably have. But when I was on the birth control pill, I was only getting my period like once or twice a year max. I was not getting a period every month. Wild. Yeah, but then I decided to go off the pill, whatever. And now I get it every single month, like on the dot pretty much. It's like a whole thing. But I don't get period cramps, which is a good thing. I no longer get period cramps, which was a big issue for me pre-birth control. However, I get like disgustingly bloated and
so
just
bloated.
The exhaustion.
It was
and the
more.
fatigue.
It was more that this month for me.
Yeah.
Some months, you guys, my cramps are so bad. Like in high school, I would be like vomiting in the bathroom. Like still now, like every few months, I get cramps where I'm like projectile vomiting. So like I might as well just call out of work. Like nothing's happening. It's crazy. Like I was thinking about it yesterday. We don't like. I feel like when it comes to periods and like that time of the month, there's like a whole thing around like being more sensitive towards women like emotionally, but like fuck that, like physically it is so like it's so intense. Like we don't give ourselves enough credit. Seriously.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, if you guys couldn't already tell from the way we're talking about our periods, me and Lily are synced up now. Ah!
no, and I hate that.
Yeah, she hates it.
I literally I need to fix it.
Naturally, our cycle started syncing, spending all this
on-
time together.
On the dot.
On the dot. Literally.
Ew.
Wait, what day this week did you get your period?
I remember, I think it was Tuesday I actually started it, because Monday,
The last day we
my
recorded.
cramp started so bad. So I took 3 Advil because I was like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
And then I had a SoulCycle class that night, and remember how I went an hour early on accident?
Yeah.
Didn't time the Advil right. Middle of the class, it came back. I had to sit for 3 songs. I was I borderline was do I have to walk out of this class right now? And then I think because I was sweating and working out, eventually they actually went away.
Yeah.
And I was able to finish. So I think I started Tuesday though, the 1st.
Tuesday was the day we recorded.
It's always the 1st of the month usually.
Yeah. Tuesday was the 1st. Tuesday was not the
Or
1st.
was it
Today is the
Monday?
6th. Monday was the day that you fucked
What
up
am I
your
talking
SoulCycle
about?
class.
No, I don't remember what the date was.
The day we recorded on Tuesday, and that was the day I got my period.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was.
Oh,
It was the day.
4th.
Wait, it was.
Enough.
Wait, I know this. It was the day before because you voice memoed me about the SoulCycle thing when I was in the middle of ignoring you.
Right.
We should talk about this.
Oh yeah, that was funny. I panicked.
So
I did panic.
Yeah, so guys, one thing about me.
Put out an all call.
I know. I saw in Diva Town, you were like, has anybody spoken to Christina today? Or not in Diva Town, I think it was a nightcap, whatever,
Well, because she
regardless.
is the most annoying person of all time. So if she's silent for 10 to 12 hours, I'm panicking.
Yeah, you're
I
something
am
severely
wrong. I thought
here.
she was rotting in her apartment, not phone rotting, dead body.
Yeah,
rotting.
something happened, something bad happened.
I thought the maggots were already getting to you, and then I was too late.
Yeah. Of course. So one thing about me is that I've been forgetting to schedule the Gin and Toxic clips
For 3 months.
for months now, since season 3 started.
So we're flopping.
So we've been flopping really hard in our beautiful little flop era. And one thing about Lily is that she has texted me every single week about scheduling these clips, and every week I tell her I'm going to do it, and then
every week I get more passive aggressive.
Yes, and every week I get
It's not
scared.
actually passive aggressive. It's just aggressive.
It's just aggressive.
It's just
No, she
Christina,
just
what the
becomes-
fuck?
Yeah, she's just
You're
mean.
letting the whole
You know what's
team
one thing I
down.
realized about you though? You will never say this is one thing about you. You will never say that you're mad or frustrated. You always say I'm confused. And I'm like, this bitch is not confused. She just knows I haven't done it. But you're always like, where are the clips? They're not up. I'm confused. And I'm like, I know she means to say she's pissed or frustrated. Could you use confused as a cushion?
I can't. She got me.
Yeah, as a cushion for being I'm fucking pissed off at you. Why aren't the clips up?
Yeah,
So-
it's giving attitude. It's getting, I'm a little lost here.
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing your part? I do my part. I say a joke every week though.
Wait, when Noah was here.
But I've also offered to do it.
Yeah,
multiple times.
exactly. To be fair, when Noah was here, he was like, "Oh, I thought you come with Lily," and I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, a lot of weeks, I'll come 30 minutes early, anyways, because I'm the one that sets up the equipment. He was like, "Oh," he's like,
What does
he
she
goes,
do?
he goes, "Oh," and she's the talent, and she shows up, and then we're talking,
Yeah.
whatever, and then he's like, "Oh, I've been seeing the G&T clips or whatever," and he was like, what do you guys do for the clips? I was like, oh, we hire out now, whatever. I was like, but then I schedule them in. And then he was like, oh, sitting there and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. We were talking about the clips. And then I was like, oh yeah, when I edit the episode, I put markers of where the clips are. And he goes, so you edit the episode
Stop telling
too?
people our business. This is between us.
He's like, oh my God, I didn't realize that you edit it too.
Okay, well, you didn't work for 3 years, so
It's true.
it seemed fair at the time.
It's true. It's so true. And I'm an efficient editor, okay? Because I've been doing it since I was 12. So I've been on my YouTube grind.
You're
Which,
also
by
a control
the way,
freak.
by the way, big news. I am a control freak. Huge control freak.
Yeah, so I've been
Big
trying
news.
for years, so whatever.
Big news. And then we'll get back to the clips. Part 1 of my Japan vlog is uploaded. It's uploaded. It's on unlisted because EF needs to approve of it, but it's done.
Yay.
7 months later.
It's tough. Like, I'm trying to be supportive.
7 months later, my part 1, not even part 2 of my Japan vlog goes up.
She is not up for Influencer of the Year this year, and it's devastating.
I haven't been since like 2019.
Oh, but you know who we did see the other day? Victoria Paris.
This is
funny.
true.
I thought about that on the way here.
When we were leaving the studio.
We were leaving the studio on Tuesday.
We're walking, and then Lily just goes, we're in the middle of saying a sentence, and Lily doesn't even say that it's Victoria's Secret. You don't even say that. You just go, oh. And then I go, what? And I look up and I go, oh.
Yeah, we both just like panicked.
And then we're silent, just walking straight. And then we're like, okay. And then we started making a bunch of jokes. We're like, what if we were like, hey, we just came from our studio. Do you want to come back? Like,
wait, that was Victoria Paris. Like,
yeah, that was. She was with another like content creator too.
Yeah, I can't. I
recognize the blonde girl that she was.
No, she's a TikToker.
Yeah. But anyways, back to the clips, the G&T clips. Why was this? Oh, because of me ignoring you.
Yeah.
So what happened was on, I want to say it was on Monday. Yes, it was on Monday because of the periods. That's right. And Soul Cycle. Monday morning around approximately like 12 p.m. Lily texts me her famous, I'm confused.
Literally.
Like text message. Like why aren't the clips up?
Cue.
Yeah. Where are the clips? Why aren't the clips up? And I read it. And I was I read it, and I was a pumpkin, and I just had like not like a fuck like Lily's being annoying text. It was like a I'm annoyed at fuck, myself that I'm receiving. Yeah, like no, literally.
Maybe it's about that you suck. I don't know.
Literally was
Maybe
read
it's
it.
less me being annoying, you sucking.
And so I was like, like I got like immediately I was like, fuck. And then I like was with Pumpkin, and I was getting ready to leave his apartment though, and I was like, honestly, like I don't even know what to respond back to this because I know she's right. I was like, I can't, like, what am I gonna just say again for the millionth time? You're right, I'm wrong. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I literally said right then and there, I said, you know what? I have all the time. It was a Monday. I have off on Mondays from coaching. I was like, you know what? I went to a coffee shop.
Lovely.
Okay. And I sat down. And over the course of like 3 hours, I organized all the clips, and then I went home and I had like a client, and then I finished scheduling out the clips. I made this like crazy content calendar. And you know what? Let's pull up some of Lily's text messages, because Lily just was spiraling the whole day texting me, just like a few, like just random things, just like here and there. She thought I was dead. Understandably so, because I was like, oh yeah, did I even say? I decided I was like, I'm just simply not going to respond to Lily until I get these clips done. That was my thought process.
How we roll around here.
Yeah, I was like, I talk to Lily every single day at every waking hour. And
it's definitely not normal.
Yeah, no, it's not normal. So I was like, you know what? I refused. It was like a self, like, it was like a holding myself accountable thing. I was like, I refuse to speak to Lily until these clips are scheduled. My thing was like, the next text message I send her needs to be that the clips are scheduled with a content calendar.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I did. And, okay, let's see. Where was it? I'm looking for it. Like, it's fine.
You know what?
Here we go.
Our top comment on our clips recently has been, does anyone actually listen to this shit? I'm like, damn.
You know what? They're so right.
They're so right.
Like, what? Yeah. Okay. So it starts here. Okay. She texts me at 12 p.m. 12:31. Okay.
Here we go.
Do you want to just send me the Gin and Toxic clips? I will post them daily. Or like, what's the update on that? Yeah. I'm confused. Yeah. Here we go. I'm confused. I thought like a week ago you said you scheduled some, but but I can't remember exactly what you said, which I did say that. And to be fair, what I told you a week prior was that the clips about Workbay were too long and that I had to cut them into like a minute 30 intervals. Right. Yeah. Anyways,
hence my confusion.
So that was at 12:32. I don't respond. I start working after that. Then at 5:30, I get a voice memo from her about how she showed up to her Soul Cycle class an hour early. Don't respond. At 7:30, 2 hours later, she said, "Girl, you good?" Still don't reply. And then at 9 p.m., she texts, "Tina, are you alive?" And then in one of our group chats, she goes, "Has anybody heard from Christina today?"
And then I started spiraling.
Yeah. And then she started freaking out.
And then I thought that there was the stench of a dead body coming from her apartment.
And all I said was, yes.
And then I was like, said, "Oh, she's mad at me. She hates me. What did I do?"
You said, "I was about to call you. I was worried." I said, so
Yeah.
here's what happened.
Yeah.
And you go, hello.
Yeah.
You're like, hey. And then you like,
I
not
was
me getting
scared.
worried. I know you go, got it, go off, I guess. And then you sent that sticker of pumpkin.
when you said, so here's what happened. I thought you were about to tell me like you had the most insane day ever. Like I thought you were about to be like, I got hit by a bus and I've been in like, I didn't know what was about to, it could have been anything.
No, because like one thing about me is I'm going to reply to that text message no matter what. With some people, there's two things about me. One, it's either I'm not going to reply to you for 3 to 5 business days, or I'm going to reply to that text message no matter what. So odds are if I got hit by a bus,
reply to what? The Are You Alive?
Just any text message.
Oh.
With you, it's like, oh, I will reply to you. Like, if I got hit by a bus, you'd be getting a text message like, just got hit by a bus, LOL. Like, you know, like, I wouldn't just not text you.
Yeah.
Anybody else could wait 3 to 5 business days.
True.
But yeah, no, so that was that. Lily was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was like, I don't know, a lot of things. And yeah, but then I said, it's done. I said, but guess what? It's done. And then I sent her a photo of the content calendar.
And I let out a sigh of relief, and it was a stunning feeling.
Yeah, it was a stunning content calendar. Also, I made it my background, my wallpaper on my computer, so I will never forget what clips are going up. And yeah,
nothing can actually. I'm just thinking about our last episode. Nothing will beat the intro to that, because we were like, guess what?
Guess who texted?
Stop thinking about it.
Did he say anything else?
No, but me and Ryan have been laughing about it for 48 hours.
Yeah, so in the last episode, Lily kicked it off really strong with a guy texting her that she should get tested for chlamydia.
But the best part was like when he texted me and Christina were this is the part me and Ryan cannot stop laughing about. We were screaming like, "Oh my god, he's back!" Like I knew he loved me. He's obsessed with me.
Cause I was like, oh my god, why would he heart your message, go all the way back into your thread when you guys haven't talked in weeks? Like, why is he like?
And then I get a long text being like, I have chlamydia. And I was like, oh, well, I don't. So that seems like a you problem.
Seems like a personal problem.
Really
like it's fine.
Problem.
Speaking of people texting, I was telling Lily that before this, a few months ago, we went to a event with a bunch of friends. This is like for a coffee brand, and we went to this event and met like a group of guys there. And me and Lily were like really fucking single. I was really fucking single at the time.
Yeah.
And met this cute guy who was like a friend of a friend, super cute guy, whatever. And I didn't talk to him too much, but I asked, like I said, friend of a friend, whatever, this guy that we know, what's the guy's like deal? Is he single? Like, should I get like his Instagram, his number, whatever? He said he didn't have Instagram. Our friend was like, dude doesn't have Instagram. I don't know why I never got his number. I don't remember exactly what happened there. I think we were just leaving. Anyways.
I remember there was like lore though. Like we were like, should we get his number? And there was like hesitation. Like maybe he like just got out of a relationship or something. Like I can't remember. There was kind of a reason, or like he was kind of seeing someone or something.
Yeah, I do not remember, but whatever. Anyways, that was like months ago. Okay. Our friend DM'd us today. And like right before recording, I get a DM from him. And he goes, remember that guy from the event that I was like, I'll set you guys up? I said, oh boy, yes. Where is this going? And he said, I have his number if you're interested. Literally sweetest guy ever. That's all. And I was just like, I'm reading this and I'm like, seriously? It's been months. But I said, oh my God, aw. I said, so I am cuffed up now, but best of luck on his dating endeavors. And he said, I'll let him know. But like, why are you hitting me up, sir?
It's so
like
random.
4 months later, whatever it is.
So random.
Like, hey, are you still interested? Like,
he's random with it. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. What else is happening? Didn't we say we're going to talk about something?
You said about your crash out.
My PMS crash out?
Yeah.
On the topic of periods.
Too, and my brain is not functioning correctly. I just had a thought while you were talking, being like, I got to talk about that. I already forgot. My brain's at like 1%.
Heart monitor?
No.
Lily has a heart monitor on now. It's a whole thing. We did a get ready with me. Don't worry. You said you were going to post that video on your close friends. I think that should go on the G&T account.
Yeah, and until Jeff and Dakota were like, that was so stupid. I was like, Was it? They made me like I can't tell if they were joking. I literally couldn't tell if they were
They're
joking.
so weird with their sarcasm. I can't ever tell either.
Okay,
but
guys,
everybody,
look what I
oh my
have.
God, heart monitor reveal. She's taking out her tit.
Here's what's crazy is Christina put it on.
I did.
I have to wear
There she
this.
is. Woo!
I don't know if you can really even see it from there.
Should you explain your lore? You and your bum ticker.
We already have.
We've explained it so many times. Lily has
I have
like
a
this like heart condition. Oh my God.
And like she's really popping off at this moment in time.
Yeah.
She's so fucking
She's been
back.
a little scary.
Yeah, she's back. But there was no cure for it a few years ago. Now there's a surgery. So I'm getting a surgery to fix it. So we're going to be fine.
So she's wearing this heart monitor for 2 weeks. It's an accessory.
I'm like so
She's
strong.
gorgeous.
So strong.
So strong. Oh.
I was getting looks today in my class. And I was like, stop looking at it. Don't make it weird.
Oh. Don't look at it.
Stop looking at it.
They're like, oh my God, Robo Chick. Like, what
Ironic.
is going on?
Robo-Chick.
Robo Chick, the robot in the room with the heart monitor on, that she could track her fucking heart through her phone.
It's crazy.
An iPhone app.
It's
Dude, that's the
crazy.
most like, what is it called? Oh my God, what is that word called? That when things are so
dystopian.
Dystopian, yes. Thank you.
I was thinking about it and like, cause like my cardiologist team can see it as well. And I was like, tomorrow night at like 4 a.m. when I'm like at a rave doing God knows what, and my heart's just like, they're gonna be like, what is she fucking doing at 4 in the morning? Mind your business.
Yeah, that's crazy. Does it like track like if like your stress levels are higher or anything? Could it do that?
No, I think just the heart rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Pumpkin has a Aura ring. Okay.
Yeah.
Those things intrigue the fuck out of me. And originally I was like, oh my God, so stupid, like whatever, until I saw his.
It'd be less stupid if you didn't have to pay monthly for it. That's why I refuse to get one.
Wait, I did not know this.
You
have
buy
to pay
the
monthly?
expensive ass Aura ring.
Yeah.
And then you have to pay a monthly fee for it. And it's nothing like crazy, but like the concept alone makes people be like, we're not buying that.
Yeah.
Like people hate that because it's like
You have to buy
so
the ring
greedy.
and they pay monthly to track your shit.
It's so greedy. Yeah. To
Yeah.
like have the app and track it.
That's so
Like
weird.
it's so stupid.
Oh my God. Well, I know like his mom got
It's
him
cool,
his mom got him the actual ring.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
For Christmas. I don't know if he pays the fee or whoever pays the fee, but
I do need some kind of tracking thing for my
Yeah.
fitness stuff. I have an
I would
Apple
do-
Watch. I just hate wearing it.
yeah. Well, okay. Well, I don't know how much the monthly is for the Aura ring, but I will say he like showed me like the app and all the stats. It's actually kind of fucking cool. We went.
Yeah,
it was
it
really
is.
funny. We went to go see Scarface, like a few weeks ago. And he had the Aura ring on. And after the movie, he was able to pull up his stats and it would show like where his stress peaked at the most in the movie.
Oh my God.
So it's like
so
if we
crazy.
knew like towards the end of the movie, there was like a scene that was like really like crazy or something, you could see like the thing.
That's
He wears
cool.
it during sex also, which is so funny because then you could like see like.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool and it tracks like your sleeping patterns, gives you like a ranking. And I've been seeing
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, I don't know if I could fully like convince myself to get one just yet, but like it is kind of cool. I feel like it wouldn't look good on me.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I would rather wear that
It's
over an
not-
Apple Watch.
Yeah, I think if I start wearing my Apple Watch, I'm literally putting it on right before the workout and taking it off
right
immediately
after? Yeah.
Like, not kidding. I can't do an Apple Watch.
Yeah, I feel like Apple Watches only look good on guys.
Yeah, and even then it's tragic. They look
Yeah.
bad on everyone. I hate an Apple Watch. I saw it. People talk about this on TikTok all the time. Like it makes me laugh so hard. They're like, my wedding invitation is gonna say no fucking Apple Watches. No Apple Watches.
Pumpkin wears that shit religiously all the time.
Yeah, a lot of people
That
do.
and an Aura ring at once. I mean, he's like crazy about his fitness and stuff, but still, I'm like,
that's a bit unnecessary. It's like, what's the point? They did the same thing.
I don't know. But anyways,
That's crazy.
Maybe you get an Aura ring. Maybe you give it a go. I wonder how much the membership is.
It's
Is it like $5 a month or something, or is it like $30?
No,
a month?
I think it's like 10. But it's
Okay.
like that's crazy.
Well, no, still the concept that you have to pay $10 a month on top of this
Yeah.
like $300 ring that you just
and then
bought
it's like
is
that's
ridiculous.
120 a year. Like that's
Yeah.
like so crazy.
No, that's
I
so
don't know.
stupid,
I think
'cause
it
they
might be
wanna-
more than that though.
Oh, that's so dumb. But speaking of tracking things, PMS, yeah, I mean, just little fun fact thing. The camera's already about to overheat. Already.
It's not even, like,
it went
that hot
dim.
in
It's
there.
not even that hot. Anyways, when the camera goes dim, we get nervous. The camera's going to shut off. Anywho. Yeah, so
Sorry.
you remember what you were going to
Yes,
say?
but it's not important. Like, keep going.
Okay.
I'm just excited that I remembered.
Okay, great. Keep it in mind. I mean, long story short, we recorded the other day, and then right after I went to Pumpkins, and I got my period that day. And I don't know. When I PMS, it usually only lasts one day, one afternoon. And I'm not mad or angry or anything. I got to his and I was just so slow, was moving like a fucking snail, was just so exhausted. I was like in a ball, like on his couch, wasn't even like cramping or anything, was just bloated and just whatever. And I'm just laying there.
You just feel like garbage.
Yeah, no, I just like, I didn't
mentally
even know, like,
and physically.
I literally, he was like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't know. And then we're just like laying on the couch, and then eventually I'm like laying there and I'm like, and he's like, are you crying? And I was like, no. And he's like, oh my God. He's like, come here. He's like, why are you crying? And he was like cuddling me. And then I literally was like, I'm so tired.
Yeah, oh my God. Like,
and he was like, he's like, you're tired. He's like, do you want to go to bed? I was like, no. And then he was like, I'm going to go to CVS. Do you need anything? I was like, I just want a big water bottle. And then he was like, I told you, he was like, could I get you some? Do you want insomnia? Do you want a cookie? Do you want a cookie witch?
Classic. Ooh, a cookie witch. I want one.
A cookie witch. I was like, no. Like, I don't even know. I just felt like shit. Like I was crying literally for no reason. I had absolutely no reason to cry other than just being kind of tired.
Yeah.
But then we put on that silent
That's been
film.
Me all week.
Okay. So. Yeah. We put on that silent film that I told you about. We put on a fucking silent film, and I locked into that shit, and I don't know, it calmed my PMS symptoms.
Yeah, that sounds nice actually. It's like
it
something
was quite
to fixate
funny
on because you can't take your eyes off of it.
Yeah,
it's a silent
yeah,
film.
exactly. There's no audio to like. Yeah. It was quite lovely.
No,
anyways,
I've
crash out.
Been in that mood all week.
Yeah,
like, I've been in a fucking mood this week.
Yeah, yesterday, today. Oh my God, I just get like. When my period comes around, I just get the severe exhaustion part of it. Some people
say too,
like,
the
I'm just
days
like
before, like I was in a really foul mood, like Monday and like just like over the weekend and stuff, just like being like bitter in my head and like, you know what? And it's the days before that can be like worse. Even
for me it depends.
Like the
you know,
emotional
like,
part.
No, totally. You know what's funny is usually for me it's like the day or two before my period, I will get like really bloated and I'll start feeling it that way. But like emotionally and cramps and stuff don't really come on. But my period caught me. I think that's why I like had like really bad PMS for like that one night when I got it literally a few days ago. Because when I tell you I usually will be able to tell when my period's coming. I'll get like a few little symptoms, like I said, like the bloating. I felt absolutely nothing. I felt on top of the world, everything good. And then I swear to God, like randomly Tuesday afternoon, I sat on the toilet, looked down. Oh, there she is. And literally within like 30 minutes, I was like just fucking so bloated, so tired, crawling like a snail. Like, it was like, how, like, did
you
this...
also sleep more? Like, I sleep more too. Like,
God,
I've been sleeping like 10 hours a night and still feeling exhausted.
No,
actually, in
literally.
general, I need to be getting up earlier. I've been bad.
Up earlier?
Yeah. Just like last summer, it's the winter for me too. Like last summer, I was getting up at 8 and like... It really helps me wake up by like going outside. Like I just have a hard time 100%. Like getting up and going. But like I am a morning person. I really am a morning person. Like once I get into the routine, I'm not someone that like just can't get into it. But like, my period makes me so tired. It makes it so hard to get out of bed.
I will say I've been waking up earlier and like sticking to it recently only because like the days that so Pumpkin goes into the office on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if I sleep over on a Monday or a Wednesday, then when he goes to the office at like 8 in the morning, he always says, he's like, you could always sleep in and just like leave whenever. Obviously the door fucking locks automatically. Exactly. Yeah. He's like up and like out the door. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once I'm up, I'm up.
Like, exactly. He's like up and like out the door by 8 a.m. and I just go with him, and then he commutes to work, I commute home, and then I get home by 8:30 and like I'm just awake. Like I'm ready to fucking go. So it's actually been kind of nice.
I'm the type, like if I were to wake up at 8 a.m. tomorrow and just the first thing I do, I go to the bathroom, pee and brush my teeth and wash my face. Right. If I were to do that, I'm up. Yeah. Like I don't like get back in bed. It's just the getting out of bed.
Yeah.
I'm really no good at that.
Exactly.
Especially recently.
No, I know it hasn't been good.
I get less sad on my period and more mad. By the way, too.
You get more mad on your period?
You're not going to catch me crying. Like I'm like annoyed. I just feel like chronically just like eye roll annoyed.
And I don't get mad, but I do get annoyed. Yeah. I get like short tempered and I just get like frustrated.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, like whatever, like confused. And And honestly, I don't really get like sad. It was just that one day that I was really sad and I couldn't really pinpoint it.
Obviously,
weird,
but sometimes I do. But like in general, I usually like, I remember I had a workout Monday night and I was like, oh, this is going to help so much. Like I'm going to be in such a better mood. And I remember I was walking home and I was like, still annoyed.
Yeah.
I'm still annoyed.
Still annoyed.
At nothing. By the way.
Just like angsty at the world.
Nothing happened.
But anyways, listen, before we get into the actual contents of the episode, Lily has a life hack for us.
Oh my God. You're welcome in advance. Okay. This is actually thanks to Claire, who I meant. Okay. I was with our friend Claire last night getting wine, as we do. And I meant to tell her we're recording tomorrow night and Monday night, and you need to come on the fucking show.
Yeah.
Because have you seen her TikToks recently?
What about her dating stories?
Yeah, they're blown up. Like,
does she want to come on? Is she free on Monday? Tell her to come on Monday.
I should text her and see, because she has the best date stories of all time. Yeah. Like, and she dated a guy that like worked on a yacht, like Boat Boy did, and at the same time as me, and like, I don't know if you remember, she like went to Bermuda with him.
And he's like a fucking raging alcoholic.
And he ended up being a nightmare. Yeah. Like, she ended up having like genuinely a nightmare of a trip. It's just so funny. But anyway, Claire is a fucking legend. I love her so much. And she's like a man eater. Like, I don't know how else to like describe
her. Nobody knows this, but her close friends
is my favorite place.
Insane. It is my favorite TV show. I could go on her Instagram, and if she has a close friends up, like, I know everything's gonna be okay.
I told her the other day, she posted one, and she was like going to bathhouse with a man, and her like tits
and
are
her
out
tits are
in her bathing suit, and she posted something like titties out for bathhouse, and I like showed it to Christina, and I was like, this is you.
Wait, did you see?
I told her that.
Did you see Emily Bonani's close friends today?
Yes, that a guy asked her that he didn't want to go to bathhouse with her.
No, that he. Yeah, she suggested bathhouse for a date, or somebody suggested bathhouse, and he said it was too intimate for him.
And they've been
but then she goes, I have had sex with this man.
Yeah, and they've been seeing each other for 2 months.
2 months.
She actually asked me to hang out today. I kind of wanted to hear about it, but
oh my God, no, that is so funny. That's too intimate.
Yeah, like, hello.
Bathhouse is too intimate. That's so funny. But anyways, yeah. Okay, so speaking of dating.
So Claire is the girl that like I go to for like single girl advice, because she just like is a man eater, like always on it.
She's a man.
She's good at like approaching guys. She always has like a story. Like, she's just like great.
Yeah.
And I was talking to her last night about baby girl and like my most recent like situation and like whatever, and she was like, well, when was that? And I was like, yeah, like over a month ago now. And she was like, when was the last time you were on Hinge? And I was like, I don't know, like mid-December. I was like, I can't get myself to open the app, like I can't get myself to do it. I've just been like in such a non like dating mood. And I was like, also, Claire, like I think my Hinge is literally broken, because she was showing me the guys she was talking to and going on dates with, and I was like, what the fuck? And I also was just saying to Christina, another good point, I know so many guys like just personally in my life that are on Hinge, and I've never seen them. And I know New York City's big, but like I've had Hinge for a long time, sadly. Like I would have seen a lot more of them by now. So Claire was like, no, your Hinge probably literally is broken. Like, give me your Hinge. Okay, you have to try this if you've never done it. You can only do it every 60 or 90 days or something, but you go to your settings, scroll down, and then you click delete or pause account, okay? And you're not going to actually do it. I think it's not showing me now because I already like did it yesterday.
Yeah.
But when you go to pause your account, there's also a reset option, which scared me because I was like, I don't want to lose like all my matches and like my current conversations. You don't lose anything. I actually don't have a fucking clue what this does, okay? Because I didn't lose anything. Like, it doesn't like reset like your preferences or like anything like that. I just reset it, and then I forgot about it. Like, because she did it when we were drinking wine, completely forgot about it, went home, had 50 plus likes by the time I got home. They were all scary, ugly men, but whatever. But then I started going through like just Hinge, and it was showing what?
Yeah, I just Googled it. It says the Hinge Fresh Start feature.
Maybe that was it.
Resets your discovery feed while keeping your profile and your matches.
Yes.
It says go to settings, select delete or pause account, select I'm not happy with my Hinge experience when it asks for why you're leaving, and agree to the Fresh Start prompt.
That's why, because everyone was ugly. So I was leaving.
Wow, that's so interesting.
So then it resets. You guys, I have had Hinge, like I said, for like a year now. And it's like the same, I see the same guys like on standouts all the time, like the same New York City hot guys all the time. And all of a sudden, my Hinge resets, and all the guys that are always on standouts and that are like hot pieces of ass start showing up for me. And then all of a sudden, magically, it's all these like sexy ass, successful 30-year-old men that I'm like, all of these guys are my type. Yeah. And it's showing me all these guys from London. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? And now my Hinge
Where have you all been?
Literally. And then I just like was fucking on it last night because I was bored. And I was like, let me just go for it. Woke up this morning, matched with a bunch of people. They're all sexy as fuck. And I'm like, let's go.
Let's fucking go, baby.
I do need another way to meet people though, because Hinge,
other than Hinge
and like bar like scenes, like that never happens. I'm always just like with my friends and very like present. Like I wish there was like a workout class. People say this about berries, but I don't know if it's true. Like a slutty workout class that's kind of known for like single hot people. Yeah. Like I need to like find another way. I was thinking maybe asking like Chris or something to like do stuff with me like that. Like just another way to meet people like organically, because like honestly it's like funny. Like
you should start doing one of those like speed dating things that they have in New York City.
I would do it if I knew it was like if like let's say Chris was hosting it and I knew it was gonna be like people like my vibe and stuff. I feel like
why don't we host one?
I would love
Gin and Toxic sponsored speed dating event.
It'd be so fun.
Wait, that would be so much fun.
Because like the singles parties and stuff, like like it's a great concept, but like you already know like the people that go to those are like maybe not my scene or like older or like whatever. Like we gotta find one that's like for people like in our industry and like our age and like whatever, but or we just do it ourselves.
Yeah, I think we should just do it ourselves.
It'd be so fun. The concept of speed dating is brilliant because how many times have you gone on a date and within the first 3 minutes you're like, this blows?
I can literally see it right now. Single for the summer, single for the spring, hosted by Gin and Toxic.
Done.
Once in a while I just get like an idea, then I'm like
abandoning me though, but whatever.
What?
You're abandoning me, but
I
whatever.
know, I'm kind of cuffed up. It's like a whole thing.
No, not that. Hey, not that. You fucking going abroad.
Oh, this is true.
I don't care if you're cuffed up. I'll fucking tell him you're not hanging out with him for a week. Like that's not the problem. I don't care. That doesn't scare me.
Whatever. It's a whole thing. Long story short, reset your Hinge. All right, guys, listen, we have an actual topic for today. Today's episode is going to be a little bit shorter because me and Lily are tired, but we meant to talk about this. We're 40 minutes in right now. It's probably going to be a nice clean hour for you guys. Last week, me and Lily were brainstorming, trying to think about like some topic ideas. And at one point or another, we brought up second chances. And we were like, oh my God, when do you know to give a second chance to somebody? I feel like this is like a really big thing. I don't think we've talked about this on the show before. And, you know, so many people go back to their exes, you know, they went on a date with this person, they fucked up, whatever. Do you give them another do you give them another chance? It's just like a very big thing when to know if you should really give it another go or like whatever. Just a good topic of conversation. So we thought that we would just gab about it a little bit.
I was thinking too, I feel like there's like the giving someone a second chance, like, and then versus giving like the relationship a second chance. Cause like if you're giving someone a second chance, that means like that's the person that fucked up. And I feel like that's the time where it can be a little more toxic. But if you look at it like Raquel and Kevin or like.
So you're viewing it more as like,
it's kind of two
like
different
if somebody things. Like if someone like cheated on you, like are you giving him another chance or whatever versus like say you broke up
due to like logistical reasons. Like someone didn't have a job, someone had to move, whatever.
Then it's like, should we give the relationship another shot?
Like it's kind of two different things. And I feel like giving the relationship a second chance usually is a little healthier.
Always. And I actually like creating like some, you know, some little talking points and whatnot for this episode. That was one of the big things. I figured we could just like have a conversation about this. I wrote down like a few little things to touch on, but that was a big thing. Like, you know, when to know to give it and like the difference, because like, you know, obviously like if you broke up due to like circumstantial things such as like work or travel or distance or whatever versus like, you know, if you broke up because of like infidelity or like toxicity or whatever, there's a very big difference between the two. Because if it's like you broke up because of infidelity or toxicity or whatever, there's a whole other layer added to that, which is like, if you give this person a second chance, will you be able to like look past their wrongdoings? You know, like if they cheated on you and you want to give them a second chance, are you able to actually look past that?
Yeah.
You know, there's like that added layer versus like, oh, we broke up because, you know, we were at a distance and now we're not. So maybe we should like, you know, then there's not as many like layers within that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I feel like if you like, especially with infidelity, I guess is the thing. Or like if like your partner just does something just like fucked up, like just has like one really bad night, like one really nasty fight or like anything just like really out of pocket like that. I feel like you have to look at like, yes, can you get past it? Because I feel like you immediately start like looking at the other person like, are they going to do it again? But you do have to go inward and think of like, can you yourself get past it? But then also like if that person, because me and Christina both have gotten back with people who have cheated on us.
I have.
Hello.
LOL. I was like, I did?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, like it was bad.
Yeah.
Really not great.
That was really not my best work.
Here's a special, and I've heard of some scenarios of people getting back together when that happens, where like it does end up working out. And I know personal friends of mine who have cheated once in their life who are good people who made a mistake. Like there really are like scenarios of that happening. But the thing is, you don't just get back together and have things magically. Like I would, where I think
it's
me
not
and
like,
you
oh,
went
the
wrong.
love could supersede this or whatever.
We've talked about that multiple times. This season doesn't work.
Love is not enough.
Yes, and what me and you didn't do is think to ourselves like, I never said like, what's Work Bae doing to make sure he will never cheat on me again? Like he didn't go to therapy or do anything to like do the work. Like I was just taking his word for it. Like there does have to be work put in.
Yeah, I think
if you really are gonna go for it.
No, totally. When it came to Boy, who was, you know, the one that cheated and took him back and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, also that relationship was just so weird because I was just like not in the right headspace and like looking back at it, like I don't even know. Just there's a lot of layers of weird shit in that relationship. But I remember having conversations with him being like, if we are gonna like, you know, stay together, like, you know, get together, whatever, you need to be able to do, you know, X, Y, and Z for me to trust you again. And he would say like, I will, blah, 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 all this stuff. And it's like he did for like a week or two. And then after that, like is when like the manipulative shit started coming in again and like the gaslighting. Like I told you when I asked him about a girl on his Instagram and he got mad at me. And I was like, it's one of my favorite Boy stories. He got mad at me about asking about a girl on his Instagram. And I was like, well, you told me that while I'm in the middle of trying to like, you know, build that trust up again that I could ask you about, you know, any of these girls or about anything. And he said, yeah, I said that you could ask me about it, but I never said I wouldn't get mad about it.
God, he was a
character. Honestly, banger line. You gotta give it him. Gaslighter of the century.
Yeah.
But anyways,
oh my God.
Yeah, he would like say shit like that, whatever, and it just like, you know, oh, like flip it on me to make it seem like I was crazy and that like I should like have forgave him by now or something. But yeah, no, but he wasn't actually putting in any action, and like that's a big thing. And I think I actually wrote that down on here. Is their actions, do they display any remorse?
Yeah.
That's like if the other party like, you know, really fucked up, you know, with cheating or like God knows like whatever it is, you know, are they actually, you know, remorseful for what they did? Are they, you know, and did they apologize properly?
Yeah,
it
doesn't just come from like, I feel like a lot of people think like, well, we've been talking for a month and we've had so many productive conversations and like they're very apologetic. I'm like, that's great, but that's not really like action. That's still just words.
Yeah, they could say whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And it's very nice to hear that, especially if you're a words of affirmation person. You know, that's
it.
good. Yeah, part of it. But it has to be supplemented with an action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What are you doing to improve on this? You know, are you like, you know, I have spoken to clients before who, you know, have cheated on their partners, and I tell them like, you know, what's the things that like you're doing to improve on this? Like, you know, it's a two-way street.
You know what? We actually have a friend. This is a really healthy example. We have these friends who are a couple who I absolutely love to death, and I always was like, I know they can work, but they were having a lot of issues because they would get into like these really intense fights when he would get too drunk. The classes, like my last two relationships, he would get too drunk, the fights got really intense, and then one night it finally led to like they were kind of not together. He got really hammered and he made out with somebody else, and that, I think he woke up the next day like, I know him well enough to know like that isn't who he is, and like he's a good person and like whatever. He gave up alcohol that next day, never drank again, and hasn't drank since.
Yep.
And that was the action. Like, he kept saying to her, I'm going to be better. And it was the alcohol that he wasn't like an alcoholic or anything, but the alcohol was getting in the way of their relationship.
Yeah.
And he was like,
it was the third party.
Yeah. And he was like, if to be with you means that like I need to step up and have better behavior, I'm never drinking again. And he hasn't drank since. And I was like, period.
Yeah, that is true.
I was like, that's the
true.
definition of like action. Yeah. Like, obviously they've had to have a lot of conversations, still build the trust up and stuff again. But like he put in the action, and he just like doesn't party like he used to, and he hangs out with like better people. And like, just like he really turned it around and like proved himself.
No, exactly. And like when people are able to do that, like that's like super admirable. Obviously, like
I really
that realize like they like fucked up and like, you know, all of that.
Because everyone fucks up. It's just how you.
And then there's also, like I said, there's the other side of it, which is like, you know, boy who didn't put in the thing. And also, I wrote another familiar face down in the notes. I wrote 2 people in our notes who we know that have given second chances to their partners where it was like circumstantial or like they were just like whatever. And then somebody else in the notes who gave a guy a second chance who the first time they broke up, he was like cheating fucking douche or whatever, or I think he was a douchebag or whatever, broke up, got back together, and then he just still ended up being a douche in the end too.
Yeah, because I think
I forget exactly what happened there, but I remember they got back together and he was a douche both times.
I think with
no improvement.
Like, okay, so a friend of mine like went through, and she shits on herself for this every single day, so like she'd talk about it herself if she was here, so it doesn't matter. But when they broke up, it was, she caught him cheating on her. Yeah. But it wasn't just the cheating. I actually think if he had just cheated on her and he was still this person that we thought he was, and they got back together because they didn't speak for 8 months or like even longer, and then they got back together, you know, that would have been, as a friend, like hard to watch. But honestly, I would have been able to deal with that more than the reality, which was he cheated on her, but she found dozens and dozens of messages of him absolutely shitting on her, talking so poorly of her. And this is one of the best people I know in life. Like, she's just like a ball of sunshine. And like, the things he was saying were so like not accurate. And like, she's also a beautiful girl, and he was saying things like she's just a pretty face and like these horrible things that like I just can't even fathom. Like, I've been through a lot with men, and like I can't fathom reading, like if I had read Workbay sending stuff like that to other people, that would have
that's just like oof.
That is cruel. And whatever. So they break up, and then they end up getting back together, and like it was hard for me as a friend. She ended up like falling out with like some family members over it, and obviously she ended up coming to her senses. Yeah. But they got back together, and I was just like, why? Yeah. Like, because it's more than just the cheating and the trust. Like,
and it sucks like when like you could see it like as a friend from the outside perspective, like, why is she doing this? You know, like that was me with boy, you with Workbay, like fucking forget it. It's like, why? But then that goes back to what we say all the time. You got to let your friends live it, which is like really unfortunate. And hopefully, you know, they end up realizing. Yeah. There is also, let's bring a little light into the situation. 2 people. One is like one of my best friends, Raquel, and her now fiance. Oh. And then also,
when you wrote that name, I thought you meant yourself.
No. Yeah. And then another girl that Lily's a little bit closer with, but you know, and she actually DM'd us about the story, so we'll read it in a bit. But my best friend Raquel, shout out to Raquel. She's like one of my high school girlfriends, college girlfriend, love her to death. She's a great example of this. Her and her, like I said, her now fiance, they dated when we were in high school. And I forget how long they dated for, maybe like a year or 2 in high school. And her fiance was kind of like in high school, 18, just like a little shit. Like, you know, I can't even remember exactly what he did. Just kind of like a douche, you know, just a douchey guy. And so they ended up breaking up. She was like in love with him, but they broke up. And they broke up for like multiple years. They went out to date like completely different people during that time for like years, like multiple years. And then I believe they like came back together. Like they broke up with like their partners and everything, like whatever. They still weren't talking. But I believe it was Raquel's brother was still friends with the ex, like her now fiance, whatever. And so she was just kind of like around like in his space a lot. Like they would see each other like when the brother would like be hanging out with him and all their friends or whatever. And eventually they started talking again. And they started getting into it, and he like apologized to her just kind of for like being a dick in the past. And eventually I remember she said that like she was still really skeptical, but eventually he ended up kind of giving her like an ultimatum that was like, I understand like why you're skeptical, like because of the past, but like I want to be with you, and like if you can't be with me, like I need to know. Now it was him giving the ultimatum, which is like interesting. And she eventually was like, you know what, yeah, like I do want to give this a second chance. I want to give it a second, you know, another go. And they got back together, and he's been absolutely nothing but a picture. What a fucking gem this man is. A picture perfect boyfriend, fiance, is so obsessed with her, loves her so much. They are so in love. He even actually like, because when he was in high school, the like group of guys that he was friends with were kind of like little shits, and they were like mean to me in high school. And like when him and Raquel got back together, we went out to brunch one day, and he like apologized right to my fucking face, like looked me in the eyes, like, yeah, I'm a good sorry for like being a dick, like whatever. He's just a great man. And yeah, and then they got engaged like a few months ago. I was just at their engagement party. Like it's just like, and I couldn't be more happy for her. And yeah, that's like a really strong example of like a second chance thing that like actually worked out. And it was simply because like both of them had just like, you know, first of all, the first time around they dated, they were like 17, 18 years old, like in high school. Like everybody's a fucking little shit in high school. Like, you know, everyone's a little shit at that time. But then they had like so many years separate from each other, growing, dated completely different people for like multiple years. Who's calling me? There's no way.
The Palestinian prince.
Do I answer this or do I?
Nah, don't.
Nah.
That's like weird.
Did I tell you he's been hitting me up again?
If you guys were, yeah, of course. You've sent me screenshots. If you guys were like friends, I'd say answer. Don't answer.
I'm not. I'm just going to.
It's so strange.
If you guys remember the Palestinian prince, he was part of season 1.
Season 1.
He just tried to call me.
They always come back.
No, because this man, speaking of second chances, this man has tried to come back in my life. I've tried to set him up now with 2 of my friends, 2 of my best friends, that I'm like, these women are more suited for you. And every time he's like, I want you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you anymore.
It's not happening,
like,
King.
oh, like, he's a great guy. I love him as a, you know, as a person, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not happening.
I'm not your woman.
No.
Anyways, that was a weird, what is in that air? Yeah. What is in the air? The last 2 episodes, we got fucking your guy hitting you up last episode.
Yeah, he wasn't really coming back though. So
regardless, characters are coming. Characters from the past are making their debut.
I feel like with Raquel's fiance in like that situation, I feel like when couples break up like young from like insecurity reasons and like just like the guy being immature, the girl being insecure, usually is how it goes. I feel like when that's the case, it's usually like petty stuff, because like that's kind of why me and my like first serious boyfriend broke up, my Irish ex. Like honestly, I was just so insecure in that relationship. He was mature in a lot of ways, but not in others. Like he's like grown a lot more now. And that's why I was trying to circle back to that last year, because I was like we were not right at that time, but like we could be so good now. Where are you?
I know, but then you got to think like, you know, that would be good for you now, but is it good for him?
Yeah, probably not.
You know,
well, it might not be good for me either. I just wanted to try.
Yeah, I want to give it a go.
God forbid we get dinner.
Let's give it a go. I
want to get dinner.
I want a dinner.
I miss going to Ireland. Whatever.
We could go when you come visit me this spring.
Imagine. I'm like, we just like run it back.
Call his sister.
He's been
on
my
way.
Whatever.
Anyways, back to the point. Second chances. I feel like that was really good though, because they were so young when they fucking, you know, dated and they broke up. They had all this time in between. They dated completely different people. Like I actually wrote that down in our notes also.
Yeah.
That I think like that if you guys
young,
what?
And like if you break up young and then you go your separate ways.
Yeah, goes your separate ways. And more specifically too, if you date other people.
You're just describing me and my ex.
Oh my God, Lily wants her ex back so bad.
I think I only want him because he does. I only want him because he clearly doesn't want me. That's why. I didn't give a fuck until he started being weird.
It's psychology, baby. I was gonna say, did he ever have a nickname on the show? I don't think so, because you guys were just dating when we started the show. That he was
dropping because we've been dating for like 3 fucking years at that point. So
yeah,
I
guess
he was like all over my like social media and stuff.
Yeah. Yet I was dating my ex, and we still were calling him like NYU Big Dick. I will never forget when like something got brought up with him with Pumpkin, and Pumpkin was like, "What was his name on the show?" And I go, I like paused for a sec, but also like I just can't lie. So I was like, okay, well, his name was NYU Big Dick, but we could just call him NYU Guy.
Yeah.
He was like,
I feel like surely my ex had a nickname.
I feel like, right?
Like,
I feel like it didn't.
Or we like,
I don't know.
Stick. I don't know.
I guess maybe because you guys were dating for a long time that we were just referring to him as his name.
Yeah, I guess.
Because we started Gin and Toxic, we're both in relationships. However, my relationship with NYU Big Dick, I couldn't really use his name or talk about him as much, because also when we started up Gin and Toxic, it was the weird in between of like I had to tread carefully with talking about my relationships online because of boy band.
Then we just put out a whole then we just put out a whole
slam
episode.
session. This is what I wanted to say, that one of the things I broke up about one of the things I wrote about was the fact that I do think it's, you know, I don't think it's the end all be all, but I do think it's important to an extent that if you guys break up, that you date other people in between. Yeah. Whether it's just going on dates, whether it's an
and
actual
that you're
full-fledged relationship. No
and, like,
contact.
You're really broken up for a while.
Really broken up. No contact. And then also, like, go date other people. Experience other things. Like, you know.
I know a long-term couple that broke up once a few years ago. And they broke up for like a summer. Like they were like no contact for like 2 months. Then they started talking again and like whatever. But I think where they went wrong is they didn't really date other people.
Yeah.
Like one of them, I think they both like slept with like one other person, like whatever. Yeah. But like they didn't like try.
Yeah.
And I think it would have made, even if they ended up back together, like I just think it would have like done a lot for the relationship.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where they went wrong. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. No, totally. And then also, she DM'd us about this. I don't know if she wanted her name in this or not, but our other friend who her and her ex broke up, she said she's a friend of me and Lily's. Absolutely fabulous girl. We love her to death. You know who you are. Mwah. We have matching names. But anyways.
Okay, I was like, I think I know your name.
Yeah, we have matching names. But yeah, she's great.
She loves Gin and Toxic.
Yeah, so you know who you are. Lily was like, oh my God, I totally forgot that her and her boyfriend dated, broke up.
He had a reputation at our college. Like
which is so funny because I do not remember this man from FIT.
Oh, his friend group like lived in my dorm. And I bought weed off of one of them. That's how gorgeous. I knew them. And they were all really hot. And like they're the only like straight guys at FIT. Yeah. And he was a little shit. He was like a flirt, like a little whore, like, you know, as you are, like at that age and like whatever. But and I don't remember exactly what happened.
It's like early college days also. Like freshman year of college, everyone's
a like he was horned up.
Yeah. Everyone's a whore. But yeah, she said, I feel like you low-key already know this lore, but she said his name. I'm not going to say his name, but boyfriend was the first person at my ripe age of 18 I hooked up with after my high school relationship, and then ended up being just a hookup to now, wait, I like you, but you don't like me, situationship from 2019 to 2021. So they're in this weird situationship. Then to finally date me for barely 2 months and then break up with me, to become a whole situationship for another 2 years, figure ourselves out, and now our 3-year anniversary will be in April.
And now he is like,
he's fabulous.
First of all, he's just everything. I just love him as a friend and as a person, but like as a boyfriend, he's fabulous. Does the most. Like he does the fucking most for this girl, and just like you can just tell he adores her to pieces, and like it's so mutual, and they're like the perfect couple.
Yeah. Like, oh my God. No, they absolutely are. They just
oh my God,
everything just works.
God, they're
him,
so
like,
good.
Yeah.
I miss them actually.
Yeah, so that's a great example. But yeah, no, I mean, we kind of already went over everything, but overall, like, just second chances in a relationship, like how to know if you're going to give somebody a second chance. The number one thing is like if you both have like grown in your age and also mentally, but like, and also I wrote, if there's been an optimal amount of time between the breakup. I hate when bitches fucking people, whatever, break up and they don't talk for 3 months and then they're like, we've grown so much in this time. Like, I know. I'm not saying that you can't grow a little bit in 3 months, but odds are you're in a month, 3 months. No, like you're not growing enough to like, you need to really be apart.
Yeah.
Like,
and I feel like at like 2021 and like younger, like 3 months feels like a long time.
Yeah.
But like just trust.
Yeah. You need like that good amount of time to pass. Like, you know
what else is true? I'm thinking about when Work Bae cheated on me, and we were broken up for like 4 months. We got back together ultimately, and I did know in my soul, and I've met other people where this has been the case. For our relationship, I knew at least like 99% that he wasn't going to cheat on me again, which he didn't. He didn't cheat on me again. That was never an issue for us. Yeah. We had a million other issues. It never was cheating though. That's why when he did it, it was kind of surprising because I was like, that's not really our thing. Like we're like really toxic, but like I thought we didn't do that.
No,
like,
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I did kind of know in my gut that he wasn't going to cheat on me again. But you have to remember with infidelity and cheating and all that comes from having a layer of other issues.
Yeah.
He was a deeply just like unhealed person in a lot of ways that like, yes, we got back together and he never cheated on me again. But did he have a slew of other issues that kept coming up that like are also the reason why he cheated on me? Yeah. Like alcohol and just like, totally being so crazy.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I don't think like a month or two is enough for like a person to grow because I think you need to like, in order for it to really work, you need to spend time apart where you really feel that person's absence to the point where you do get over it. Mm-hmm. Like you're like, okay, I'm fine without this person. Like you need to be okay being alone and like be healed from like all of that stuff. Also what you just touched on with the, I feel like you also just like know in your partner, like if the infidelity or something like that would happen again. That's how I felt with boy band. Because when we made the episode about like, how in the end of the relationship, like, it got a little messy, he emotionally cheated, all that stuff. Although that happened, I, to this day, still say that like, I don't think he would have done it again if we stayed together. And I do not think that was the person that he was. Yeah. I do not think that he is some like nasty cheater man like everyone was making him out to be after we uploaded that episode. Like, I guess, everybody takes it as they are. But I've always kind of said like, I do not think like that man. Like, I think if we were to stay together, I do not think he would have cheated again. I don't think that was actually who he was. Yeah. I think it was just, like, deeper things. I mean, he obviously just had a lot going on, like, was just thrown into, like, the spotlight out of fucking nowhere, didn't really know what to do with it.
I mean, I believe it, because he was a overall sweeter, nicer human being than Work Bae was. Yeah, and I know, I also would say, like, Work Bae, worst fucking person ever, but, like, he's not really, like, a cheater. I feel like... in the future, in his future relationships, God bless her fucking soul, he might also be a crazy person, but he's not really like a cheater. Like that was never really his like thing. Yeah. He did a lot of other things.
Right. He did everything else.
Yeah, he did everything else.
And then also something to touch back on, we already touched on, if you've both grown, if there's been time in between, dated other people, if you broke up due to circumstances, I feel like just kind of going over that again because we didn't really like dive into that, but like obviously when to know to give somebody a second chance. Say like you broke up because like, somebody has to move away for whatever reason, move because of this thing, because of work, because of school, because
struggling with depression, mental health, like something that's situational maybe too.
Yeah, exactly. A situational thing like that. Like if that passed, obviously that's another reason, that you might give somebody a second chance, We went over the actions if there was infidelity or something really bad, toxicity, like do they display remorse? And then also, can you handle giving them a second chance? If the cause for the breakup was that they were really mean to you or nasty or they did something or they cheated or whatever, like can you emotionally handle getting back with that person and be able to truly see past it? That was one thing that I learned really like a lot about myself was with Boy, when me and him decided to, you know, get back together and stay together after he had cheated on me, I realized that, like, you know, ultimately, here's the thing. He was not doing enough to get me to trust him again. Even if he was, I personally am a person, I simply do not think that I would be able to get over somebody cheating on me. It's just, at that point, if you cheat on me, it's doomed. I won't be able.
Especially, like, the way that, like, in that scenario, especially, like, not happening.
No.
Like, I, like, know some family friend, and I just feel like with, like, people that are married and, like, older, like, sometimes they experience infidelity and can work things out, but, like, I used to be someone that thought, like, you know, you can work things out, whatever. But now, like, the older I get, the more I'm like, when it comes to cheating and infidelity, like I said before with workbait, there's usually just so many reasons why it happened in the first place, other than just the cheating. Like, it's never just the cheating. It's always, there's, like, so many other issues that go into it. And, like, that person's obviously just, like, a broken person. And then, there's just more that goes into it than just the cheating. So, like, I just don't really think it can work out.
Yeah, you actually just raised something that I didn't write down on here because transparently we don't have to think about it really right now, but there's obviously another layer of, do you give them a second chance, like if you're married
and
or if you have kids
involved.
That's another thing where it gets like a little bit more sticky. And obviously it's not something that like me and you could fucking talk on, but like, you know, it really depends, like, what do you want for your kids, what do you want for your marriage, like, you know, just a lot of different factors.
And it also depends on, was it a 2-year affair? Were you in love with someone else? Was it a one, like, you know, cheating is cheating, but like it does matter. It does make a difference. It does depend. Like, I think with me and Workbay too, when he cheated on me, we were actually pretty much, we had a conversation that day being like, we're pretty much at the end of the road with our relationship. We weren't officially broken up. So yes, he cheated on me, but like it was a unique situation. So that's also what weighed me getting back with him at that time. Obviously I regret it now, but like that was the outlook at the time. So like it's very circumstantial as well. But obviously if there's kids involved and a marriage and everything, like, you know, it affects the decision.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I don't judge anyone. And like, you know, sometimes people get back, and I know a couple got back and they've been together for like 40 years. Like it's just, it depends.
Yeah. Final thoughts on like this before we get into some of your DMs. The last kind of thing we had on a note is also like recognizing that it is a, you know, 100 street, 50-50, whatever you want to call it. Like if you're going to get back together, there has to be work on both people's sides. If it is something that like, oh, like there was cheating or someone was a bitch or like whatever the case, you know, it is like, it's a 50-50 street of like, say it's cheating. The person that cheated needs to put in the work, like, you know, in order for the other party to be trusting in them again and whatnot. But then also say that party is putting in all the work, everything possible to make their partner, you know, trust them again and, you know, feel secure in them. And the other person just isn't being receptive of it. Then the other person also has to be like, you know, take accountability and work on that or, you know, whatever. I have a client who was going through something like this where she cheated on her boyfriend, and she was putting in like all the work like possible in order for, you know, her to in order for her partner to like really trust in her again and for them to be together. But he wasn't necessarily doing his part, and although it's really up to her to like pick up the slack, he wasn't doing it on his part, where he was kind of just like stringing her along, being kind of like weird, kind of wishy-washy and everything. And it just kind of got to a point where she was like, you know, I've done everything I possibly could for you to like trust in me again. And like, if you feel like you still can't give yourself like, I don't know, it was a few months.
Okay.
And that was a big thing I talked to her about. Like, you know, these things take time. And like, if he is unable to overcome this, like, you know, you don't have to, you know, be okay with it necessarily, but like, you have to be understanding of it. Yeah. And like, you know, that's his own journey and, you know, everything. But, yeah, no, it was a little bit weird for them because, you know, he was still being very wishy-washy, which makes sense. However, it turned to a point where it was like she proved herself so hard that it was now becoming unfair of her to be putting in so much time and effort to make it work after what she's done if he wasn't being
they had
at
to
least
make
a little bit
progress.
of receptive.
Yeah, you gotta make a little progress.
Exactly.
I feel like with Boy and Work Bay, they had no patience.
No,
like
no.
they did for a bit, and then I remember like
what, fucking 2 weeks?
No, literally. Work Bay cheated on me in January, and I remember in June of that year, he went to a birthday with the girl that he cheated on me with.
Yeah.
And I freaked the fuck out. It crashed the birthday, that whole thing.
Yep.
And I remember him being like, he yelled at me and was like, "At what point are you gonna get over this?" And I was like, "Are you that mature that like 6 months to you like feels like a long time?"
Yeah.
Like I was like, "You realize it's been like 5 fucking minutes since
Yeah.
you cheated on me? Like I don't want you hanging out with her."
Yeah.
Like, it's just like you have to have patience.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, any final thoughts on that before we get into DMs?
No, read him.
Right. So on that note, we put a question box up on Instagram basically asking for stories, you know, if you guys have given exes a second chance before, what's happened, X, Y, and Z, and we got some good responses. So I went in and I screenshotted a few and we're going to read some of these. So first DM, this girly pup DMs us and she said, found out he was cheating when he got back from deployment. Yeah, she said should have been my first red flag. So real. Should have been my first red flag.
It's funny as fuck.
Because I had messaged a girl I thought was sus, and I, of course, was right. I tried to kick him out, and he begged to stay and promised to never do it again. And I was young and naive, so we stayed together. I made him block her and I blocked her too, but then 4 months later I got a text from her friend detailing things from my very personal life that he had told the girl because he never stopped talking to her. A majority of their conversations were about me. Part of what he had told her was that he had planned to leave me as soon as we moved from where we were living. He convinced me that she was lying and I stayed. But then he broke up with me a week after we moved over text. Moral of the story, never give anyone a second chance. Once they show their true colors, believe them.
Yep, there you go. And there's something about a man talking
That's the end of the sentence. There's something about a man.
No, there's something about a man. There's something about a man talking shit about you to another woman.
Oh my God.
That is another level.
Our friend?
Yeah, that's stuff.
Yep.
Like, I remember that, like, hit me so hard. Like, I was bawling my eyes out when she was going through it because I was like, cheating is, like, you know, disgusting and, like, whatever. But, like, you're really going to, like, do that to me? Because, like, you know, when you're in a relationship, you're also, like, best friends.
Yeah.
So it's, like, it's just cruel.
Like, sharing those, like, intimate details with other people.
And, like, talking down on someone's character who does nothing but love you. Like, yeah, when she went through that, I was like, that is brutal.
No, because then it's, like, it feels way more personal.
Yeah,
at that point. But, yeah. We have another DM here, and this is actually one that worked out. You know, have you ever given your ex another chance? Girly Pop DM'd us. She said, he broke up with me because he thought our long distance relationship was the cause of his depression because he got so sad being away from me when we had an amazing relationship, never had any issues in the 10 to 11 months that we were dating. I knew it was actually because of his last semester of college majoring in bio. He always drowned himself in his work to the point where he wouldn't eat until 8 p.m. A month before he broke up with me, he even asked me to move to another state with him where he goes to grad school. I was planning to go with him. I was in disbelief. After 3 months from the breakup, he realized he messed up and that I was right and told me. I knew he would come back, but it was still heartbreaking because we were so great together. We got back together after a few months so that we could both work on ourselves for the relationship. Now we live together in Michigan in our tiny little apartment where he goes to school, and we've never been happier, and we're coming up on our 3-year anniversary.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah. So
that sounds kind of normal to me.
Yeah, like he was going through a lot, thought it was a relationship. They broke up. He realizes it wasn't actually that. They have some conversations. They get back.
Kind of valid. Like,
yeah.
I could kind of see how, like, if I was in a long distance relationship right now and I was having a really shitty week, how I could be like, yeah, and like I also miss him, and like that doesn't help. Like, how you would start blaming things on the relationship when really, like, it's not. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah.
This next one, I remember reading this and cracking up. This is kind of a crazy one. Okay, she says, brace yourself on this one. Okay. She said, yes. I gave an ex a second chance, LMAO. Oh, yeah. Okay. She said, yes, I gave an ex a second chance, LMAO, to then one day go through his phone while he was sleeping, like the little evil demon he was, to find him actively using Grindr.
Oh.
And finding over 40 to 50 messages of men sending him nudes and him responding back with out-of-pocket responses and actively meeting up with these men. How do I know, you might ask? Because I saw multiple messages of him texting on the app, I'm here, or outside the door. And the best part of the night I had found all of this out was I was at his place, and of course we fucked. He was my man. And I saw a message on the app of the night before of him going to have sex with a man on Grindr, because I saw a message from the night. Oh, she's repeated this. Whatever. Saying, I'm here at the door. Yep. She said, I went and got tested right away after that.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
She goes, love my LGBTQ plus community.
LGBTQ?
I have a gay LGBTQ.
You said LGBTQ.
LGBTQ. Sorry, LGBTQ community. Yeah. I have a gay bestie, but that was so wrong.
Well, yeah, it's
duh.
And it's like, it doesn't matter if it was men or women, really. It's like a sexual health thing. Like,
no,
that
exactly.
Really would freak me out. And like, I bet he was fucking her raw.
Yep.
Guarantee.
Literally. Love. Yeah. And it's like, that's the shit that got me fucked up. Yeah. If you're cheating on your partner and you're fucking other people raw and you're putting your partner at risk.
That is like, well, it's just not smart. Here, if you're going to cheat, be smart. Like,
wear a condom.
Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's like,
listen,
not...
if you're gonna cheat.
No, seriously. What?
Oh, sorry.
You
I thought the camera was being weird
me.
For a sec. No, I'm sorry. Also, we got a DM, very simple, from a girl that said, if the reason was strong enough to break up, it's not a strong enough reason to get back in it. You should be able to work things out with a breakup not being in question.
That's also true.
Yeah. It's like another way to look at it. Yeah, like you should be able to work things out without breaking up. And if it had to get to the point of breaking up, then why would you give it a second chance?
That's also true. That's actually a really fucking good point.
Yeah, that's why I screamed. I was like, oh my God, this isn't like a confession or anything. But I was like, I like this girl's DM. Really this other girl said, I gave my ex a second chance and it turned out way worse than breaking up the first time. Backstory. He got into an accident 2 months into us dating, so I became his caretaker.
My worst nightmare.
While that was happening, he was cheating on me with his ex.
Oh, God.
We broke up for a bit, then got back together, and he was still seeing her after we got back together. We constantly fought. He quit his job and moved into my apartment and then became an alcoholic.
Oh, my favorite.
I know. Add a little spice. He tried everything to get me not to break up with him again. Even tried proposing.
Oh, they love that extra mile.
After we broke up again, he stalked me for 6 months, sent me over 300 messages, and even went to my hometown 2 hours away, all while still dating his ex.
Perfect. And that's when women get murdered. Do you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Wait, I actually had that's so funny that you say this.
Involved.
I literally had a conversation with a client the other day who was telling me about how when her and an ex-boyfriend first break up, that she was having like some anxiety about him like potentially like harming her, and she was like thinking like she was crazy for thinking that way, and I was like,
no. Babe,
honestly,
look at the statistics.
No. Yeah, I was like, you're not crazy. Like,
that's why me and my roommates freaked out so much when my roommate I live with one girl that I don't really know very well. Don't even get me started on the whole situation. I moved into this apartment thinking she was going to move out right away, and she's been there a year. So that's great. Whatever. She's fine.
Period.
Yeah, just like fuck her, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
We don't speak. She's just like my roommate. And when I like lived there for the first like 6 months, she had this boyfriend who I wish I was joking. He is Voldemort's twin. Like, looks like Voldemort. He looks like he has like prosthetics on. Like, he is the most frightening looking person I've ever seen. I don't give a fuck. Okay. He was so scary and weird, and they ended up breaking up, I guess. Like, I don't speak to her. Everything I know about her, I hear through listening to her on the phone in the kitchen. Okay. Yep. Like, that's all I know. They break up. I don't know, a good amount of time went by, whatever. And then all of a sudden, outside of our apartment, he started spray painting. I can't make this shit up. he started like spray painting like I love her name and like I love you like all over our sidewalks in our nice Greenpoint neighborhood, really killing the fucking vibe. Okay. And it starts spray painting it everywhere. And one day I'm leaving the apartment and cops are walking in and I said, hey, what are you guys doing here? Hey, what are you guys doing here? Like, why are there cops in my apartment?
My home.
And then my roommate comes out who I don't speak to. We don't know each other. And she's like, sorry, I'm getting a restraining order. I was like, oh, I have one too. No way.
Yeah.
No,
like, what the fuck?
Like,
twins.
but I was like, what do you mean you're getting a restraining order, babe? Like, what happened? And she's like, yeah, he's been like leaving things in the hallway. And I was like, oh, he's been in our home?
Gulp.
He's been in our building. And like, it was like hee ha ha for 5 minutes. And then me and my other roommates got together and we were like, we could all be killed in our sleep.
No, literally. When I was living in Greenpoint in my sublet, I was living down the street from Lily. That was an amazing era. I don't want to talk about it. I think about it every day. But
I don't walk down the street anymore. I avoid it.
Yeah, no, I'm so sad. However, one day I was coming home from a date night with Pumpkin. We're literally like walking to my apartment together, and I was like, oh, like you see that little sign on the floor, the spray tan? He's like, yeah. I'm like, that's Lily's roommate. That is Lily's roommate.
He was putting like jars of olives outside of our door and crackers.
Like,
what the fuck? And then one night I went to leave early in the morning for a workout, and there was just a champagne glass outside of our door.
Yeah.
I'm terrified.
That's like, insane. I feel bad for. I'm laughing. No, I really don't.
It's funny because now he left. Like, he's been leaving us alone for the last like 2 months, so I feel fine about it. But
yeah,
it was scary because I was like, this is genuinely like how it begins, like the stalker shit. It's really weird, and there's a lot of ways to get into our apartment. So
I know. Yeah. Sorry. So random. I was like, oh, we should totally. I forgot that we also put up a poll. Do you think that there are scenarios where exes deserve a second chance? And we got 56% said yes, of course, and 44% said never that. Who do you think put the poll up? Never that. But actually kind of crazy that this is like, it's very like 56% versus 44. It's pretty close.
No, it's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
It could never just be yes or no.
Yeah. Also, after we put our question box up, because that was the DMs I was reading, but Lily put up a question box that said, have you ever given an ex a second chance? Like, tell us about it. And we got like the long DMs.
Read Jeff's.
Oh, it was yeah, wait, it's in it. He goes, no, but you have.
And you know what? That's my truth. And I have lived all these experiences, and now I have a podcast where I get to tell you guys not to do it. So
yeah. So with some of the, like the quick messages that we got in response to that was, gave my ex of 10 years a second chance. Now we are 3 years in, and we moved across the world to Canada together. Let's see. We have never. Once you do me wrong, you're turning your back. Yes, I did. Don't fucking do it. If it never ends well and they don't change. Yes, it nearly ruined my life. Give therapy and or medication a chance instead. That was submitted by a friend of ours, actually. Kind of hilarious. Yes, gave her a second chance and it ended the same way as the first time. Ex for a reason. I feel like that's always what it is. How it ended the first time, and you know, all of that.
Because people don't ever put in the work or let enough time go by to have things change.
So that's that. So thank you all for your submissions. We love reading little stories on here. On that note,
I love a question box on Toxic.
Oh yeah, we love a question box.
I love getting on those stories because these days, like, no one talks on their Instagram story anymore. You're never gonna be retired from that. That's you though, and you also
I don't care.
It's also not cringy when you have 500,000 followers, but when the average person does it, like. Fuck you, babe. But like no one's talking on their Instagram stories anymore, and like
I don't give a fuck.
Sometimes I want to talk, so I get on the G&T account where I feel safe.
I feel most safe talking in my Instagram stories.
Yeah, whatever.
Like I don't give a fuck. Like I'll tell a whole story.
The real ones follow the G&T account, so I get on there and I pop off.
Yeah, guys, make sure to go follow us if you're not already. We give our socials at the end, or once again, just go to myhotredheadfriend.com. It's whatever. Let's get into Toxic Confession, though. I love how we said that this is going to be a clean 1 hour.
Never.
It's never that. We're at an hour, 30 minutes.
Never
Toxic Confession time, and I did the liberty before this episode of finding one for us already, so we're not going through. I actually found multiple. Which one are we gonna read? Let's see. Which one is it gonna be? Oh yes, this one I think was good. Okay, toxic confession. Freshman year of college, I had a random roommate. I was friendly, but in the nicest way possible. She was very boring and never went out, so we weren't close. She had a crush on this dude in our screenwriting class, this real ugly baseball guy.
Sounds like you.
Period. Me?
Boring, no drugs, ugly men.
Yeah, Lily and our friends are going out tomorrow night to like rave and party, and I was like, "Where was my?" You acted
sad for 2 seconds, and you already made plans with your man, and I know you had already made plans with him.
I don't have plans with him. What are you talking about?
Just said you're going to see a movie with him tomorrow
at 4 p.m.
Oh.
And he has plans tomorrow night. It's his best friend's birthday party tomorrow night.
Please just cut me like coming for your neck in that moment.
You said you already had plans.
Yeah, isn't it funny that you acted upset when like you already made plans with your boyfriend?
Boyfriend.
Whatever.
Boyfriend. Maybe.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sorry, continue.
Hey. Lily just came for my neck. We're seeing fucking Dog Man.
I just saw red. I just saw red.
We are literally seeing Dog Man at 4 p.m. I will be out of the theater by 5:30 ready to pop my pussy for nighttime. They're all going out tomorrow night. I go, where is my invite? She goes, well, you don't do drugs.
No, stop making me look like a drug addict on... This is not the case.
She said you don't rave and do drugs.
No, but when I like
no, because Lily doesn't like when I'm in the room and she's doing drugs because she gets weird.
I'm not even doing drugs.
Lily's doing drugs.
No, I'm literally not.
Lily's doing Molly.
I'm really not.
She's tripping.
Okay.
It's whatever.
I've never done Molly. Stop screaming.
Whatever.
No.
Lily's doing Tusi.
No, I go out when I go to these types of things. Okay, I'm out till the sun rises. You not so much.
Why can't I go till 4 a.m? Why can't I go till 3 and then go home? And you guys just stay.
4's late.
Why can't exactly. Why don't you guys stay out till the sunrise? I'm being left out.
We already had World War III today about someone else getting left out, so I'm not really in the mood.
No, I don't actually give a fuck. It's probably better that I stay in tomorrow night anyways. I have a long day on Saturday.
Yeah, that's true. I'm also doing it tomorrow night because I have nothing Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be throwing up till like 4 p.m.
I am going bridesmaids dress shopping for my hometown best friend's wedding on Saturday morning on Long Island. So I have to go all the way out. Yeah. Anyways, back to this toxic confession. Okay, yes, she has a crush on this dude in our screenwriting class, whatever. The roommate had a crush on this guy, okay? Now back to the person. Okay. Fast forward to a sports party. She said I'm not a sports player. Me too, girl. I'm at a sports party. That's like me at Super Bowl party this weekend. Not a sports person. Don't care. Just want to see Kendrick. Anyways, I attended with my 2 best friends. One of my besties decides to make out with the guy I was really crushing on at the time, and she knew that I liked him.
Slut.
I was furious when I saw this. I saw the ugly baseball dude from my screenwriting class, asked to go to his room to fuck. He, of course, agreed. We had sex. I threw my tampon somewhere in his dorm.
Wait, the guy that she liked?
She asked... So, okay. She was living with a random roommate.
Yeah.
And she knew that the random roommate had a crush on this guy in her screenwriting class. So she goes to this party and...
The roommate's kissing the guy that she liked.
No. The girl who sent this in, one of her best friends made out with the guy that the submitter really liked. So I guess it was like the girl that submitted this just like wanted to go like hook up with someone, and she saw the guy that her roommate liked and went to go fuck him, and she did. And she goes, I threw my tampon somewhere in his dorm.
Ew.
Okay, diva.
Ew.
Next day in screenwriting class, I gave him back his t-shirt that he lent me, and he gave me back my slutty going out top. My roommate was at a loss for words, and she never asked me about it.
That's savage. Especially if it's like the quiet girl that doesn't go out. I'd feel kind of bad.
Well, that's why it's toxic confessions.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah, that makes it all fine. It's supposed to be a toxic
no,
confession.
It's fine. Keep doing
No, I know that
things.
is kind of. I read this and I was like, ooh, that's really fucked up. Like, she did not deserve that. But I was like, but this is toxic confessions.
I love the college girls. Like,
this is.
What do you mean?
If you're in college, get slutty and DM it to us. You know how Brianna Chicken Fried did that college tour? We need one.
Stop. That's exactly what I was just gonna say. I was gonna say my dream is to do a college tour because, like, what do you mean you just ripped your tampon out in his room and just fucking, what did you lasso it and fucking, like, where's the tampon?
I feel, okay, weirdly enough, I feel like that is not the first time that I have heard that from, like, a girly in the DMs. Or, like, oh, like, he pulled it out with his teeth and just, like.
Oh, yes, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
I actually feel like we might have gotten that a while ago.
I feel like we've gotten, like, the girlies have said that, like, they're pulling out the tampon. They don't give a fuck. We actually got a lot of really good toxic confessions this week, I think, because once again, I screamed at everybody the other week. Listen, bullying works.
One time, I was in a Bushwick urgent care, okay? And
where is this going?
This was a really, really rough time in my life.
Where is this going?
And I was having some vaginal issues, quite frankly. So I go and didn't have a gyno at the time here, and I'm in there, and I also had my period at the time, and they were going to do an exam, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just go take my tampon out and come back. And this gay Bushwick fucking doctor was like, no worries, girl, I'll take it out for you, like, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, you're a doctor. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay. I put my legs up. I just trauma flashback right now. And he goes, oh my God, I've never, like, done this before. Do I just, like, like, he started? I'm dead serious.
Wait, what the fuck was this?
This was when I was going through something that I didn't tell anyone about for a really long time.
Wait, was it when you?
Yeah, babe. And yeah,
hey.
So as if it wasn't already bad enough, he was examining me down there. He literally was like, wait, oh my God, like talking like that. Never done this before. Wait, do I just like get it and like pull it? Or like, do I just like 1, 2, 3? Like, is it gonna like hurt? I was like, it was so awkward.
How do I not know
I was already having like maybe the worst day of my life. Like, actually maybe the worst day of my life.
I was like, where was I? Oh, I was abroad with a boy and I'm like harassing Lily.
No one in my, like, whatever, that was my fault. But like, I was really silently going through it at the time. And it was, I just have this gay Bushwick tattooed fucking septum piercing doctor.
Wait, I've never done this.
Yeah. He was like, wait, oh my God. It was like, pull it? I was like, oh my God, you're a fucking doctor. This is not okay. Like, it was crazy.
And that's why we don't go to urgent care in Bushwick.
I never went.
And on that note,
yeah.
Have a good night, everybody.
I
gotta go. Make sure to go follow us. I can't do it. That was British and Australian. Make sure to go follow us at Gen Toxic Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Make sure to go follow at Beauty Chickie me. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I finally have a new YouTube video out.
You're famous and everyone's sick of you. It's about me now.
Oh, okay. Go follow myhotredheadfriend.com, at Lily Stewart, 2 Y's on Instagram, 4 T's on TikTok, 2 T's on Twitter.
Can you post an Instagram story about that, by the way? And like
my hot red. I told you I want to build a website.
Make it about me.
I'm making a hot thing for Lily. It's happening. It's going down. Okay. It looks like a flaccid.
I know.
Okay, bye.
Everything reminds me of him.
Bye.
That's fucking funny material.
Enough.
You're welcome. I'm the fucking